to the October 1st Parker Town Council meeting. I'm going to reconvene the meeting at 7 p.m. Council, please sign in. All council members are present. Most important part of the evening is up. We've got a scout in the audience. Come on down, young man. See, Terry thought I was pointing to him. I said most important, I pointed over there. Come on down. You get to lead us in the most important part tonight, and that is the Pledge of Allegiance. So all these people behind you are going to be looking at your back, and that's okay. We're going to turn around, and when you start, we'll all follow, okay?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Great job, buddy. All right. Now, where we all are excited that the Rockies made the postseason, as a lot of you know, we lost to LA today, but that just means we're the wild card, but we're still in the postseason, so that's all good. All right, next item up, we've got special presentations. Michelle, do we have any special presentations tonight? We do not. Okay. I have a new tie. That's kind of I could use that as my special presentation. Everyone on the Facebook world watching, see my new tie? It's nice.
They're watching football.
You're going to zoom in on, they're watching football. No, they're watching my new tie. All right. Next up, we got Parker Chamber of Commerce updates. Do we have someone from the Parker Chamber here tonight? Does not look like it. There must be a game going on. But we do have a wonderful representative from the Downtown Business Alliance. Shelley, would you come on down? We need Shelley Mango walk-on music, too.
I know, gosh. I pull into the parking lot, and there's no cars.
I know. There must be a Broncos game going on right now.
There was a lot of people at the Pinery RTD spot, though, like at about 3:30 today. So all dressed up in blue and orange. So I know.
All righty.
All righty. Good evening. Thank you so much, Town Council and Mayor, for having me this evening. A few updates. We are hosting a meet and greet. The Downtown Business Alliance will have a meet and greet on October 9th, Tuesday night from 5 to 7 at Vines for the town council candidates that are running for the 3 positions. So of all 10 that are running, we have 9 confirmed that will be coming. So we're excited to have the opportunity to get to know everybody that's running for those 3 open positions. We will be giving each candidate a minute to 2 minutes overview of who they are and why they're running for town council, and after they're done, we're going to have kind of a split up forum where they go into different areas and be available for anyone that wants to ask them one-on-one questions. And so they have their own kind of space, so to speak. And
fantastic. What was the time again?
5 to 7 p.m. Tuesday night, a week from tomorrow, at Vines in the back room. And if we end up having a large amount of attendance, then we can move into the front part. But we're going to start in the back and see how it goes. But please encourage anyone that would like to get to know the candidates that are running for town council to come next Tuesday night. And you're all welcome to join.
Fantastic. So with that, real quick, Michelle, could we make sure and get that posted? We already have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sherry posted it today.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
I wanted to give also an update on the connectivity initiative that the Downtown Business Alliance is working on. I took about 3 hours and spent an afternoon meeting with the owners of those 4 buildings on Pikes Peak Drive and walked up and down getting some feedback on wouldn't it be wonderful for this this sidewalk to be expanded, and got buy-in from 2 out of the 4. I didn't have an opportunity to meet with all of them, but I do have their contact information. The goal being truly just to make sure that we're doing some due diligence for if this project moves forward, and that we'll get an email from each of these owners, basically explaining that yes, they would like to see this happen. Maybe some of the stipulations of if it happens, what's going to happen to my sprinkler system and so forth, some of those details that they would be concerned about. So as soon as I get all those emails, I'll be passing those along to the proper person, just to at least acknowledge then that we have the owners of those on that block behind this concept and idea.
Okay.
So let's see. First annual chili cook-off is only 20 days away. Oh my gosh!
What?
I know. So we're on the last farmers market. We'll be hosting our first annual chili cook-off. It will be in the parking lot behind Music on Main Street from 11 to 2. We have a live music scheduled already. We've applied for a special event license and got our insurance taken care of today, and we are selling beer, sodas, and waters. We have Mike Boyle, a local Denver radio DJ, as our special guest, and he'll be doing some promotions for this event as well. And we also are going to be asking all 10 candidates that are running for the positions for town council to be our special judges of their favorite chili. So we have not only individuals.
I was going to say, can I run for council now so I can judge some chili?
Well, we'd love for you to come down for sure. Please
You don't
come.
get to be a man of my advanced stature and not eat a lot of chili.
Well, you'll enjoy this too. We'll have red, green, and unique chili
Yes,
as 3
yes, and
categories.
yes.
And we have individuals and special guest chefs that will be our contestants. I am actually putting a plea out there. Please go to our website, downtownparker.com, if you'd like to find out more information about it and how to become a contestant, because the more contestants we have, the more fun it will be, and the more different varieties of chilies that we will have to taste. So go to that downtownparker.com website. There in the upper right-hand corner is Chili Cook-Off. Click on that. There's information on being a contestant as well as participating as just a fun local resident.
You also have to point out the most important part as pertaining to tonight. It's also the bye week for the Broncos.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And there will be no Broncos.
There'll be
Yes.
no Broncos that night, so
Yes,
it's okay.
yeah. I should have stipulated that to begin with. No interference with any football. I just wanted to say that also we had Kevin Tilson. He was the director of the DDA and Merchants Association for Castle Rock as our guest speaker last month for the Downtown Business Alliance. Castle Rock is doing some really great things in their downtown area, and it was really quite an inspiring, inspirational presentation. He did send his deck as well, which I will post in our DBA notes. We haven't had them out because our secretary was not present, and I get crippled when I don't have my secretary there to take notes. So I will be sending those out before our next meeting, which is next Wednesday. We will be at the library second Wednesday of every month, and we're having just more of an informal meeting whereby we'll be discussing all the details of the chili cook-off and having all of the business owners give their update on what they're doing with their businesses and anything that lies ahead. I can say one announcement, though, too, that I didn't write down since the chamber isn't here. The chamber now has approached the Downtown Business Alliance to work together with the Sip and Shop that's been at the Pace Center for the last 2 years, and instead of it being at the Pace Center, they are hosting the Sip and Shop as an extended wine walk, the last wine walk of the season in November. And so they're looking at November 1st, November 30th and December 1st. We'll have it Friday night as a wine walk format, and then on Saturday all day a holiday market with all the Downtown Business Alliance businesses open and celebrating the holiday season, as well as there'll be some kiosks and so forth that will be spread out in the downtown area, and they're working out the logistics and getting all the planning done with that. But since nobody was here from
Lots
the
of
chamber,
logistics.
lots of logistics.
Lots and
Okay.
lots of
Well, we're
logistics.
hoping that it works. At minimum, on Saturday, we're going to have just promote a holiday market for all of our businesses. Any questions?
Council questions?
Yeah, I have a comment.
Yes.
If you would just give a thank you to whoever did the mapping for where our booth was for DBA at Oktoberfest, tell them I really appreciate where our location was.
Okay.
Do you know? I mean, come on, put two and two
I
together.
think
Was out of
I
town.
understand there were firemen involved in this.
Next to the calendar.
That would be
Yeah.
correct.
I know. The one day that I couldn't be there, darn it.
It was somewhat interesting to be sitting there. I'm having a beer, and we're sitting there with the family, and someone comes on the announce, and they're doing some contest. We're holding the Steins out. And they come on and they said, and we got all these contestants, and we're going to go ahead and have one of the firefighters come on up and do it too. And you could see this as this gentleman that had like a 12-pack and like 1% body fat and, you know, all this stroll across the parking lot there. This interesting wave of everyone's eating their food, and it was like all of a sudden all the ladies started going, "Brr." It was like meerkats, you know, their heads, "Brr, brr," as this guy walked across. I'm like, for all of us fat guys, that's kind of, that sucks, man. Sorry.
I will
But he
pass-
lost. He didn't win the contest. So obviously having 1%
darn.
body fat doesn't make a big
No,
difference.
it doesn't always
So,
make a difference.
Just saying. Just saying.
Debbie, I'll pass the thank you along. All
right.
Any other
I'll
questions?
volunteer for more hours next year.
Anything else, guys? Nope.
All right,
Thank you very much, Shelley. All right, next up, we've got public comment. This is an opportunity for you to come up and address council for general public comment. There's a 3-minute time limit, and these are for items that are not currently on our agenda. If you're here for an item that's on our agenda, there'll be public comment at that time. So this is just general public comment. No action will be taken. See, there's a little clock above me, and I've got one over there for 3 minutes. And so we'll open it up public comment at 7:10 p.m. Seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:10 p.m. and move on to reports items from mayor and council. Mr. Martin.
Trying to remember what.
You know what day it is? Monday. All right. It's okay. It's okay. Amy.
It's all good. Okay, let's see here. So, Councilmember Dyak, Lewis, Williams, and I attended the Metro Home Builders Political Forum last week, and it's just again a great opportunity to interact with our local neighboring municipalities as well as those throughout the Denver metro area. And they did have 3 mayors who sat on a panel talking about certain issues going on and affecting our community and the home builders as well. Thursday night, we had an RTD meeting, and I'll probably let Mayor Wade update everyone on that. And Friday night, Debbie, Councilmember Lewis, and I attended the Douglas County Library Foundation Gala.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Josh.
Last Monday, a week ago, did the Douglas County Youth Initiative, Douglas County Youth Congress, and another outstanding event. 135 kids from Douglas County high schools got together, as they do every year, and we give them 8 topics, and they debate and come up with either a proclamation, a resolution, or at least a white paper and a presentation on how they feel about these certain topics. So it's a fascinating event. I know Councilman Martin's definitely been involved in the past, and plenty of others were there. Just a great event to watch these kids and listen to their points of view. And every year they continue to amaze me. They've really got some great minds.
Okay. Renee.
Councilmember Lewis and myself had lots of liaison meetings. We had the liaison meeting for PAR, for Human Resources, and for Parks and Recreation.
Okay. Debbie.
On the 19th of September, Josh Rivera and I attended the Partnership of Douglas County Governments. Really good information that day. The Douglas County Economic Development Forum gave information, as well as Kevin Balmer from CML. A couple of other interesting side notes is that they have a bear alert in Larkspur. And everyone was pretty aghast at what was happening. I don't think he had ventured into any business like the bear at
And Estes.
in Estes at the hotel, at Stanley Hotel. The school district was there, and we got, those of us who had not met the new superintendent got to meet him. They are going to go out for a bond issue this November. There has not been one that's passed in 12 years, so they're diligently trying to encourage everyone to vote in that aspect. There was an award that the county received for human services at the ICMA conference. On the 25th, I had a Douglas County Housing Partnership meeting. A couple of things from there is that 3 loans have closed since we had our last meeting, so that's a total of 6 this year. It had been pretty bleak in the first quarter. There was not anything that people could purchase, and there are 2 in the wings that should close before the end of the year. Also, they are helping, the Douglas County Housing Partnership are helping sponsor a a senior housing choices, and kind of the theme is should I stay or should I go? It's going to be at the Pace Center on October the 10th from 8 a.m. till 12, and they'll be discussing things about home modifications, the available technology, and reverse mortgages. I think that's all besides everything we've already mentioned.
Okay. John?
Thanks. We were all at the town budget retreat.
Yeah.
I guess we left it for the numbers guy. I
There we go.
appreciate that.
We didn't want you to feel left
It was
out.
an all-day fest, I believe.
All-day number fest.
I appreciated that, yeah. I also attended the CDOT Transportation Summit as a executive committee director of Dr. Cog. What that was, it was sort of a bringing together of the transportation people, E470, CDOT, Dr. Cog, all the private contractors. There was some great speeches from Michael Lewis, the director of CDOT. They talked about relevant topics in breakout sessions, autonomous vehicles, freight, and it was just a good time to network with our fellow elected people as well as see staff of other municipalities and private contractors as well. So I think it was the 5th annual. It was a fantastic event.
Cool. A couple things I have. We had the budget retreat, which is an opportunity, obviously, for us to look at planning for next year. I met with Michelle for her town administrator's review and to go over that. There's a business after hours from the chamber at Parker Adventist Hospital, which I attended, and then I hosted an RTD meeting last week with our director for RTD, and also the COO of RTD came down, and a few other staff members to meet with citizens. I have an equal number of requests from citizens of, how come my home's not in RTD and I'd like it to be in RTD? How can it get into RTD? And citizens who say, my home's in RTD and I don't want to be in RTD. How can we get out of RTD? So it was a good opportunity to just get everyone together for them to talk. And I will have to say, for those of you who were at the meeting, the new COO, I liked him a lot. And it was nice to see that he was there listening and actually taking info down. So I see a good partnership there. And that's all I got. So, yep.
One other thing, I forgot to mention, shout out to our Parks and Recs department. At the National Accreditation Conference that they had in Indianapolis, we won an award for accreditation, yay. And
For the best director named Jim?
Yes, yes. And then at the state conference, 2 of our staff members won awards for Professional of the Year in their category.
Congrats, guys. Good job. Good job. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and move on to consent agenda. The consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion and one vote unless a council member asks to have something removed for further discussion. So council, with that, I would entertain further discussion or a motion on consent agenda items 7A through 7D.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Josh and a second from Amy. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item up is item number 8. These are our resolutions. We'll have resolution number 18-067. This is a resolution opposing Amendment 74, which is an attempt to amend the Colorado Constitution to drastically limit state and local government services at a high cost to taxpayers. Mr. Maloney,
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mayor, I love your shirt.
you like it?
And the necktie,
Dude, the tie. I'm
telling
telling
you.
you, it's the tie.
we need another close-up.
Wait. Tom, you gonna do a close-up down here? Just kidding. That's a new tie. I love my new tie, man.
But
Well-
this next item is a very serious item.
Are you saying my shirt and tie isn't serious?
It is.
All right, come on. All right.
So this next item, as the mayor indicated, concerns Amendment 74. So recently, there was an initiative petition, it was numbered 108, and it was titled, "Just Compensation for Reduction in Fair Market Value by Government Law or Regulation." And this was certified for the November ballot. They got enough signatures, and it's called Amendment 74. This ballot amendment would modify the language that's been in the state constitution since 1876, and it would provide that private property shall not be taken or damaged, and this is the new language, or reduced in fair market value by government law or regulation for public and private use without justification. So with the addition of those 11 words, and I'll read them again, or reduced in fair market value by government law or regulation will turn the Constitution and 100 years of Colorado case law on its head. Colorado Municipal League has put out a tremendous amount of information on this particular issue. If you got your newsletter, you saw that there's also another article. Exactly, they have been sending out mailers and all sorts of information because this truly is a very serious issue. And one of their quotes is as follows: "The expansive language of the initiative will significantly cost local governments as well as the state, and most importantly, your taxpayers, when any number of decisions are made, like zoning, land use, liquor, marijuana, and other forms of licensing, code enforcement, affordable housing initiatives, environmental protection, especially when mandated by state or federal regulation, urban renewal, whether environmental protection, especially when mandated by state or federal regulation, I said urban renewal, and prohibition on undesirable uses such as adult entertainment businesses. In any moratorium, and we certainly have done this before, related to certain industrial uses, in our case, storage facilities. The approval of Amendment 74 result in excessive legal costs to the town for lawsuits and payouts to individual property owners, the cost of which will be borne by Parker taxpayers. This amendment will have a crippling effect on the ability of the town to provide the most basic of services to its residents. I think Washington State and Oregon had similar constitutional amendments pass, and my understanding it cost those states billions of dollars in damages to individuals who indicated that they were subject to some form of taking as a result of governmental regulation. Both of those states have repealed those unfortunate constitutional amendments. If you're looking for the motivation behind Amendment 74, Protect Colorado, a political action committee group funded by a number of oil and gas companies, spent $1.2 million to help pay for signature gathering to get the amendment on the ballot. As you're aware, there's another ballot measure out there dealing with setbacks. So is there a connection? Maybe. The town council is not prohibited from taking an advocacy position concerning Amendment 74. The Fair Campaign Practices Act provides that you can pass a resolution and report the passage of that resolution through the established customary means that you use for the distribution of information to the public. So the purpose of the attached motion before you tonight is, one, to oppose Amendment 74 because it would significantly expose state and local governments to excessive litigation and liability, and to authorize town staff to report the passage of this resolution to the public. So our recommendation, at least at the staff level, would be to approve the resolution and to oppose Amendment 74. Any questions, Mayor, Council?
Council, questions? No. We'll open it up for public comment at 7:22 if there's anyone here to address council. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:22, and I'll entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to inform the council that Dr.Cog put a motion on the table last meeting to oppose this amendment as well. A summary of what we discussed is that every land use decision would potentially adversely affect somebody. So it would ultimately cripple our ability to create land use decisions. Also, as Mr. Maloney indicated, Oregon passed this, and I believe they paid out $4 billion in claims before they realized that this would bankrupt their entire state, so they repealed it. So it was broad-based. It was from Douglas County all the way up to Boulder County. It was pretty unanimous across the entire Denver metro region that this would not be a good situation to be in.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think, you're taking 142 years of case law and a well-written constitution in its simplest form, and obviously, unfortunately, one of the easiest ones to amend. And 2 years ago, we passed Raise the Bar, which made it a little bit harder to petition to get things on, and they surpassed those needs by going to all 55 districts or counties and getting signatures in all those counties. So a lot of money behind this. I think more in a political battle, as Jim alluded to. But it would take, I mean, everything that we do to improve the quality of product in our town would hurt somebody somewhere and would open us to countless lawsuits. I think this is imperative. I think people really need to read between the lines on this one. I'm sure it sounded good to the people that signed the petition. Limiting government was probably how they worded it, but oh my Lord, this is not limiting government. This is bankrupting government.
Okay. Any other comments? I'd entertain a motion then, please.
I move to approve resolution number 18-067 as part of the consent agenda.
Second?
Actually, amend that,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, without the consent,
without
just the first
Oh.
part.
I move to approve.
I move to approve resolution number 18-067
Second.
Motion by Amy and a second by Josh. Council, please vote.
for reading what I haven't.
Motion passes unanimously. Next item is item number 9A. This is ordinance number 9.54.2 on second reading. This is a bill for an ordinance to approve the third amended and restated establishing contract for the E470 Public Highway Authority. Mr. Maloney, you're up again. Okay, is this your first time? Second time.
I was being critiqued because,
You're being critiqued?
because of the motion.
Yeah,
Oh.
trying to throw me off there. Thanks a lot.
Needs improvement.
Frowny face. All right.
Might just quit.
So the proposal before you tonight is a third amendment to the restated and establishing contract for the E470 Public Highway Authority. Much of what's in here really is to bring the current IGA into compliance with the state statute and how the state statute defines the powers and authority of the E470 Public Highway Authority. And that's essentially it. And I guess the biggest change I saw in there was the definition of public highway, and that, again, is to make it consistent with the definition of public highway that's in the state statute. So, again, I think it's a very modest change that's before you tonight. And, again, it's to bring the establishing contract to on all four with the state statute.
Okay, thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions? No. All right, we'll open it up for public comment at 7:26 PM. If Shelley Mango wants to come down and give a comment, no? Oh. Seeing no one, we'll close public comment at 7:27 PM, and I'd entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
Move to approve ordinance 9.54.2 on second reading.
Second.
Motion by Josh and a second by John. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item, which is item next B. This is ordinance number 1.515 on second reading. Council, I'll need a motion to continue this item to a date certain of November 5th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Josh and a second by Renee. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. And the final item tonight is item 9C. This is ordinance number 1.519 on second reading. This is a bill for an ordinance to approve the memorandum of understanding for pre-qualified building departments for public school construction pursuant to CRS 2232-124 and 2371-122 between the Colorado Department of Public Safety, Division of Fire Protection and Control, and the town of Parker. I tried to do it, Randy, in one breath, and
I'm glad you had the hardest part.
Oh, I didn't get there. All right, Randy,
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Hope everyone's doing great.
you're wearing engineering blue tonight.
I know, I got the memo.
Look at you, dude.
Yep. So, in August of 15, the town of Parker and the state of Colorado moved into MOU to perform construction plan review, permitting, and all field inspections for all public schools within the town. The renewal of this MOU will enable the building division to continue services which apply to new construction, remodel, mobile buildings, maintenance, annual repairs, such schools as the Lehman Academy, Parker American Academy off of 20 Mile, Parker Performing Arts. The building division has performed all those inspections, except for the required mechanical and electrical that the state does require. So staff recommends approval of this, and that's about all I have.
All right, excellent. Council, do you have any questions for Randy? No? All right, we'll open it up for public comment at 7:29 PM. That's, Randy, this is why everyone's here tonight, for public comment on this item. Ready? 7:29 PM, public comment's open. Come on down. Jude, you want to come down and public comment on this? No? Okay, I tried. All right, we'll close public comment at 7:29 PM, and I'll entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
I move to approve ordinance number 1.519 on second reading.
Second.
Motion by Josh Rivero, second by Josh Martin. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. With no further business before council, we will adjourn at 7:29 PM. Go Broncos.
And what's
Everyone
the
drive
score?
safe getting home. Have a good evening.